How are y'all doing today, everybody? Hi, Miss Abilene. Wow. Well, look at you. Aren't you friendly? What about this side? Yeah. Really nice. Both of them just really trying to approach today. Investigate. Hi, Annie. Wow, look at you. So it's nice that when I come in to this round pen that these girls are both coming in to say hi and really trying to connect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Well, hi. Oh. Really hard for Annie. She wants to do it, but it's hard and scary, and she gets some aggressive energy in her body there. And as you see, I don't let it affect my internal state too much because I'm connected with where it's coming from and that she's really not intending to do any harm. She's just fighting some of the natural responses her body has to this situation. Well, why don't y'all move it out a little bit? So I'm just going to ask her to detach and see if she can walk out some of that tension she feels in her body there. And to maybe connect from a little safer distance here. And then we can try again on this getting close. Hi, Miss Abilene. Yeah, you're being pretty nice about it, so you can stay there. But I'm going to detach around you a little bit if you want to. No? So just doing a little detachment with both of these girls here. Asking Annie to detach around the pin and just asking Abilene to let me detach around her. And you see when I get back here to this midline, she's going to want to come in. Good. And so they both connected a little bit there in detachment. It's pretty hard connecting with both of them at the same time when they both struggle with areas of it. But it's not impossible. Hi. What do you think? Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. You're awfully calm about this touch anymore. Still bothers you a little bit though. The approach for Abilene doesn't hardly bother her at all anymore. Me asking to touch. She's pretty good at connecting with that. That's big time progress for us. And y'all saw last week Dad got some pretty good progress with her in kind of the same arena. And that's what we're looking for, is we're looking to do things in a way that it transfers from relationship to relationship for these horses. I don't just want Abilene to be able to let me touch her. I want her to figure out how to be okay with touch in any relationship. And man, she's starting to feel pretty good about it. Hi, Miss Annie. Did you get rid of some of that anxiety? You want to try this again? That was nice. That was good. How was that? You want to go again? There's a little step forward. Hey look, Abilene will show you how it's done. See? Whew. So now we're on Abilene's dominant side, and again you see she feels more anxiety over here. And so we'll just hold here for a second. Let her kind of work through some of that. And when she kind of calms down and connects with a little bit, it goes away. And now you see her initiate the touch. Now, that's what we're looking for. Good stuff, Miss Abilene. Getting scratches on her neck. She still feels anxious about it. And so I'm always going to kind of be monitoring her ability to tolerate this. It's hard. She's doing something that's tough for her. And I want to recognize that. All of her fidgeting can build into an aggressive reaction for her, and so I just want to be out ahead of that just a little bit. And it doesn't take a whole lot to just notice it, notice how she's feeling. When I need to just stop and hold my hand in a spot and let her relax a little bit, and when she does, to go ahead and bring it down. Oh. There you go, Miss Annie. One of the things for Annie that's going to continue to be really important is her ability to move forward here in a way that's calm, to move towards this thing that she's afraid of. I was listening to a developmental cell biologist talk the other day, and was talking about how cells grow. And one of the things that really stood out to me, he mentioned, you know, cells are either in protection or growth, and they can't be in both states at the same time. And to be in growth, they have to be moving towards a stimulus. And that's something that really translated into this work we're doing in here is for Annie to be in growth, she's got to be moving towards this stimulus a little bit. If she's in protection, she's not ever going to be able to grow. And so we really want to make sure from an internal state, she's able to calmly move towards this stimulus, and we're building that, helping her build that ability all the time. That was really nice, Annie. That was really good. You want to go again? So her progress on this is small, but one thing to really notice with Annie on this is she's been kind of bumping my hand for the last couple of times we've been out here. That time she was able to bump it and not immediately freak out and run away from it, which is just a good step in the right direction for her. She's starting to feel a little more secure in that. And repetition, predictability all plays a big role in that. Really nice. Good. And because predictability and repetition are important, and the more we can practice this thing, I think we all know practice is good, the easier it's going to become. Oh, felt confident enough to try to bite it that time. Just thinking back to all the work we've been doing in here, there's a really different feeling, and hopefully it translates onto the camera that you can see it in Annie's body, just her posture, the way she's holding herself, the tension in her muscles. She's so much softer than she used to be when we were even working on anything remotely difficult for her. And so it's really nice to see that she's able to kind of find this place where she can be pretty comfortable trying this stuff. Because it's hard for her, it really is. All right, so one of the ways we can help Abilene with some of this touch on her dominant side, you know, we can continue to kind of come over here and ask for it. And you see she still has a pretty negative response at first, and then she's able to regulate, and we're able to get into it a little bit, but she still feels a little So, you know, one thing we can work on is detachment on this side, and continue to build trust on this side from a little bit safer distance for her. And so I might just ask Abilene, and I can't remember the last time we really worked on detachment together, where I'm asking her to detach. I want to see if she can detach with this side turned toward me and how she starts to feel about that. And so far it's pretty calm. Good. So I really like that she's staying real connected with me here, checking in. Of course, when they get over to this scarier part of the pen, they still have that little arousal response over there. And so what I'd like to see is that she can walk around in this direction calmly. I can ask her to move towards the stimulus a little to grow. Woo! And it's hard. Lots of regulation having to happen here. As the anxiety builds, as they move towards this part of the pen that doesn't feel as safe because there's a fence and a house and kids play over there and they can't see very well. As that anxiety builds, you see Annie, she goes in to attack Abilene a little bit. That's how she's still kind of dealing with some of that. And you see Abilene making some requests for Annie to get off her rear. Good. So now we've calmed down and connected just a little bit. Annie's done a good job calming down enough to recognize I was never putting any pressure on her. Which is progress for Annie, it really is. So still a pretty big avoidance response over there to that side of the pen for Abilene. And I'm just gonna keep her walking around here, asking her. It's okay. You can keep moving. Go on. Hi, Annie. I see you. I see you. Yeah. That's what I want to see from Abilene, is that head come down as she moves into that space. And that time she actually decided to engage with the space she was walking into instead of just focusing on getting out of it. So that was the place where she actually moved toward the stimulus just a little bit instead of moving directly into protection when she felt it. And so I want to release that pressure for her. So that was good. You know, one of the things we're really helping these horses learn how to do is to really just to be brave a little bit. You know, the thing we're always trying to teach a little bit is some bravery. Is to see something that scares us, and instead of running away from it immediately, to stop and check it out and see if it's really scary. And that's kind of the first step in starting to be able to regulate top down a little bit, to reevaluate our own kind of bias on a far more cognitive level. I just want to see how our detachment's translated to touch on this dominant side. And Abilene still feels a little nervous about it, but she's able to connect and regulate there a little bit, which is nice. And that was really nice. She's really leaning into me, wanting to sniff me and check me out a little bit here. And sniff me and check me out in a way that's much more connected than she's previously been able to do. Oh no. We found the spot behind the ear. It feels good to be scratched there, don't it? Yeah. Feels good to be scratched right behind the ear there, don't it? Don't bite me. Don't bite me. It's getting a little too much. It's getting too much. That was a whole lot of touch on her dominant side. And she says, well, where'd you go? Why'd you stop? So she still fights that initial reaction over here, that this isn't safe. She's slowly learning out with every repetition that it can be safe. Why do you always go for the belly? Is it because it's the thing that sticks out the furthest? Or is the softest part? Huh? No. There I stopped scratching, I quit touching her, and went back to a place that was a little harder for her, and she had a little more response to that. So I'll just start back up here where she's comfortable. We'll work down. I want to really pay attention to her body as I work down her side here to see if I can figure out where's this line where she becomes uncomfortable. As I got to her shoulder here, she starts twitching. And so that's the line. And then she starts wanting to bite a little bit. So I just want to hold this hand here just inside that line. Let her calm back down and relax if she can. Reconnect a little bit here. And she did. And so I'm going to take that hand away, and then I'm going to come back with it right here. And she says, I might bite your belly. So I'm going to come up her neck just a little bit and say, okay, how about here? Can you regulate here? And she says, yeah, I can handle that a little bit better. So here I'm starting to learn where this line was. Maybe back on her shoulder was a little too far. Mid-neck seems to be where it's safe. And then I come back and find a spot in between. And that seemed to be okay. And so we move back up her neck. She's starting to really lean into it. So she's always kind of fighting this battle between her body, her fear response, and her mind. Tells her I'm not safe, but what I'm doing is safe and feels safe and starts to feel good. And so she's kind of in this place where she's got to figure out which one of those things it really is. And the more I can stay calm, the more she's going to figure out that this is safe. Oh, she likes that on the neck right there. Yeah. Hi. That feels pretty good, does it? Yeah. I know. You're going to have to learn how to groom on me while I'm grooming on you. That's, in a way, it's not so aggressive. Biting the belly just, it really doesn't feel great. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there you go. I know. Well, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Oh. I told you. I told you you'd like it once you kind of got past the fear of it. Yeah. I know. Right there. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. How's that? Is that enough? Okay, Annie, your turn. It's really fun stuff with Abilene. Really getting to a place where she's starting to really enjoy this. Oh. And so there from Annie, we got a bump and then an attempt to explore with her lip a little bit, which is, it's all just little bits of progress with her. There you go. It's still there. You want to get it again? Good. No, don't bite it. Really nice attempts from Annie here. Good. Good, little worked up, needs to move away. Ah, so she stepped into it and I left my hand up there because the way she stepped in wasn't really calm and connecting. And then she made another attempt where her head came down and she actually tried to connect with me, and so that's when I took it away. And so I want to be really intentional about a lot of these subtleties. Good. Very nice, Annie. That's very nice. You gonna make me do all the work? Good. So we're starting to see, hopefully, that Annie's window of tolerance for how close she can be to us is starting to grow a little bit. She can really start to tolerate standing in here where we can possibly touch. At most, she's had to back away 2 or 3 steps. That's improvement for her. And she's really getting good at this calm step in to check me out. That's what I really like to see. And she's able to move into this calm relational space as she explores that. And that may be the most important thing we're helping these horses develop, is the ability to move into a calm relational space to explore something. And she says, that was an awful lot. I'm gonna kind of detach over here from you just a little bit, and that's okay. Good breath. Couple of really nice calm steps forward from Annie there. Oh. You want to sniff my hat? You want to check out this camera up here? What about that? Huh? You want to check it out? What are you thinking? Give it a try. Come on, you can do it. Is that weird? It's weird? Okay. What do you think? Good job, Annie. Says, I don't know. I gotta think about it for a little while. Good. All right, how about back to this one? You know this one. It's a little more comfortable. You reached out a little bit there. Yeah. You gonna make me do all the work? Good. Really nice. So with this repetition in this window where it's hard for Annie, but she can still tolerate it, lots of repetitions here in this space, we're starting to see that this approach for her is becoming less and less of a big deal. And that's a really nice space to be able to stay in and work in if you can. That's where we're going to make the fastest progress in our relationship. And you see her body still has this initial reaction of, oh, he's stepping towards me, I gotta get away. And then she's able to regulate that and rock back forward a lot of times. And a lot of times after being in that tough space, we've got to reset, release some tension in our body. We can even make a request for that with some detachment and knowing what Annie's dominant side is over here. I'm going to ask her to detach, going in a way where we start to try to build some more trust on that side. So I'll just put a little pressure here on her shoulder. We'll ask her to turn that way. She's really nice about responding to that. Hi, Abilene. Hi. I really like to see her really present as she's moving around there into this space. She's gonna want to avoid and come back here, try to get Abilene to protect her. But when she really connects in this detachment and gets out there, she starts to kind of explore some of the scary stuff that's out there. And that's all I want to see. I want to see her stay connected with me, being present with where she is in the pin there. And you see her responding to really subtle shifts in me, even when I'm behind Abilene over here. So she's really staying pretty connected and attuned to me. And she's done really nice on this dominant side, so I'm just going to ask her to turn the non-dominant side around here. And she's able to do so really calmly, which is nice. Very good, Annie. You want to come back in here for a little bit and try some more approach? What do you think? If I help you out, I'll move in between you and the scariest place. Yeah, there you go. And so it's important to really be able to start to notice with Annie, it's the same as in detachment and attachment, is when she's stepping into a scary space, if she's able to stay calm, relational, and present and explore the space. And that's how I want to see her step towards me. That's how in detachment I want to see her step into a place that I can see is kind of hard for her. And that's a skill that we just develop. But we've got to have somebody to help us get out of survival mode before we can ever develop that kind of a skill. That's very good. What about the left hand? Oh, that's a different one, isn't it? Okay. So just notice the initial reaction the stimulus causes in her body. Notice her ability to regulate, connect, and relate and move towards it, and be able to release it when she does. And see how good it makes her feel when you can do that. Okay. Oh, 2 hands was too much. We did a left and a right, but not a left and a right at the same time. That's just too far. Well, hi, Abilene. What are you wanting from me? Oh no. Are you going to become a pest? You even going to put your dominant side over here for me to scratch? Not quite. Not quite. Let me work on it, Annie, just one more second. We got to work on the zombie. You like the zombie? Annie, it's 2 arms. Oh, finally able to look at it. So I'll take them down. What do you want? You want more scratching on your neck over here? Oh no. You're gonna turn into a monster, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, that's some nice grooming. There you go. Yeah, just lip. Just lip. That's nice. And the arm feels better than the belly. The belly is kind of ticklish, you know. Oh. So that feels really nice. That's some relational stuff right there. Wanting to reciprocate. I really like to see that. Oh. Oh, sweetie. Really nice that she can come and ask for that. Shows a lot of development of our relationship that she feels safe enough to come and make that request. You gonna stand on top of me to make it? You know, you gotta let me work with Annie just a little bit. I'd love to stay in here all day and scratch you. Yeah. So now we're back here on her withers. A little further than I've been back there. She says, I don't know. Bring it back up a little maybe. Okay. So able to regulate and step back up. And we can get back there a little and come back up on her neck. And so if we can work our way down with this scratch and be rhythmic, and we can start to see where it feels good, where it doesn't feel good yet, and we can help grow into those other places. You know, once we get to under your belly and around your tail head, those are going to be good spots too. You'll forget that this neck scratching even feels good once we get to those places. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Annie. Good. Good. All right, you ready for 2 arms? 1 arm, 2 arms. Huh. 1 arm, 2 arms. Oh, no. Come on, you can look at them. There's a difference between looking at them out of fear and actually looking at them. You hide behind Abilene, try to get her to distract me. It's not gonna work this time. Zombie unicorn, that's right. So now she's walking, I can at least see her thinking about it. She hasn't really turned in and looked at me. But I like to see that she's walking around here thinking about it. Not just running from it. Thinking, well, you know, maybe zombies are people too. Maybe they deserve a little consideration. Hi, Abilene. I know, I walked all the way around on your dominant side, didn't I? You gonna let me do it again? That was good, Annie. There you go. One arm. No, too much energy. So there's something very subtle that's happened here with her, and I think it's just important to point out whether you can see it or not. Initially, when I put those arms up and she started walking away from them, and she still noticed they were there, she put me on her dominant side and moved around in a way that kept me there. And she was finally able to really connect and look at me with my arms up in that dominant eye and turn towards me. And it took a while. This time, she got me on her non-dominant side, and she went immediately into protection and swung around to look at those arms. And there's a real difference there, and we want to start to pick up on her patterns for that, because that's not what I want from her. What I really want from her is to be able to connect on either side with these. But, you know, as a survival instinct, she's built a real pattern of immediately dropping into survival on my non-dominant side and turning that side to protect myself no matter what. And you see, there she goes. So that's when I want to put those arms down. There she goes. All right, you want to try one? You want to go back to one? What do you think about one? Oh. After working on two for a little bit, one's not so hard. Okay. Nice. Really good. Approach too fast. That's okay. You can walk off. And again, as she swings that non-dominant side over here, that's when she gets that more aggressive response to come in. And that's just a program in her body that she's going to have to start to rewrite. And it's going to take time. But this is how we start working on that. And that's the much more thoughtful, calm, relational response that I'm talking about on her dominant side that she has to that. Hi. Are you feeling left out? Huh? Huh? You want me to sit over here and pull on this knot in your mane and get it out for you? Huh? I could just take scissors and cut it out. But I could just work it out with my fingers too if you want. You It's not some kind of special friend thing that Annie did for you, is it? Did she try to braid your hair for you? Look, I got some of it. Says I'm not used to you standing this close on this side without actually rubbing me rhythmically. So it gets a little weird when you're just playing with my hair. I kind of need this rhythm, this predictable touch. Playing with my hair is not as predictable, and so I got a little anxious there. Okay, and so good to notice that kind of stuff. Well, go back to your hair for a little bit, and then go back to scratching you a little bit, huh? Yeah. Oh. What is it? Hmm? Good, working our way down her side, and she's able to take a big deep breath there. That's really what I like to see. Ooh. Really nice, Abilene. Yeah. It was really nice. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Is that going to start to be okay? When we get two hands going really fast on your shoulder. All right, Annie. Good girl. Really nice. Hi. I feel like we're close on time.
Yeah. 55 minutes.
Yeah, I think those are really good places to end with these two girls. Really nice prolonged sniff there. And this one, you're going to be a pain. You're already turning into a pain. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see y'all next week.